Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I will be taking a look at the LEGO Eternals set 76145, the Eternals Arial Assault. So along with reviewing this set, I'll also kind of review and give you my thoughts on the Eternals film. But before I take a look at the one deviant build and the two minifigures being Icarus and Sprite, I'm going to take a look at the box of this set. So here is the Eternals Arial Assault box. It is a small box with that $14 set price box. It's really the box that you'd expect for this size of set. You can see the two minifigures with the Eternals E symbol there, then LEGO Eternals there, and then you have all the Eternals there, which the artwork's a little weird. Like Druid looks fine, and then you have a few characters just like looking off in different directions. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's a weird symbol. But the one part I do really like is the side of the box here where you see Icarus and Sprite. And then on the back you can see them using their powers, Sprite and Icarus there, and them battling the Deviant. I think this box is pretty good. I think it shows off the set quite nicely. I really like this side box art. This is for sure my favorite part of these Eternal boxes. But this little bit here, I think it could be improved. It's just kind of weird. You have some characters looking somewhere, some looking the other, and the artwork style overall is just a little odd. But now I'll take a look at the build and the minifigures of this set. So in this 133 piece set, you get the two minifigures and this deviant build, which there is at least one deviant build in each of the Eternal sets, which I think is pretty good given the amount of the deviants in the actual film. I guess these are wings right here. I like these pieces right here. They look pretty cool. You do, at least the two sets I've built have come with an extra one of these, so that's pretty cool. It is very posable. The legs and the feet can move easily. Same with the arms, the wrist joints there, and then also the hands there, which use the Wolverine claw piece there in gold. There are a few stickers in this set which stick with that aqua, dark blue, red color scheme that you see with all the deviant builds. There's also a bit of gold usually in each of these. You have some gold claw pieces on the back of the legs there. I like the shaping of the legs. They look quite nice. And I like the posability. I think the deviant build is quite nice. I like the color scheme that they have made with all these deviants. Going up to the head, this bit is printed here, which is nice. You do seem to get this piece or very similar prints to like that in other Eternal sets. This mouth area here can move down, but I don't think it's meant to really move. It's really just the actual head that's meant to move. You can't move it side to side, but you can move it up and down. Then you have these ear bits here, which can move a bit, so you can change the direction of where they're facing. And then these wings can also flap a bit with how these are with the clips. These also can move quite easily, but you just want to make sure they're all lined up so they look quite nice. The back, I like how the legs are tiled off here. I will say, I wish there was kind of a inverted piece here to also tile off this part, but with a cheap set like this, I don't really expect all those details to be added to it. But I do like this deviant build. I think it's a good cheap set with some pretty good minifigures, so I'll take a look at those two figures right now. So here are the two minifigures of this set, and probably from the film, two of my least favorite characters, actually. You have Icarus and Sprite. So this Icarus figure, I think the outfit is quite nice. I like the blue and gold with a bit of dark blue accents in there as well. One thing I like, except for the Sprite minifigure, all these Eternals figures have some nice leg and toe printing. I think this is a good representation of his suit from the film. You have some power pieces there in orange, and the just detailing on the torso and legs is really nice. But when you move to the face and hair, I don't think this is necessarily the best representation for Icarus from the film. I think the darker hairpiece that was used from the Bucky from this year's Marvel minifigure series probably would have been better hairpiece for what you see in the film. I don't think the facial expression is too bad, But to improve this facial expression, it would have really been nice for this one to have like the laser eyes. I think that would have been a really nice addition to this minifigure to improve it. Then moving to Sprite, I think the torso printing is quite nice. It seems pretty good and accurate to the film from what I can remember. The short legs there, of course, don't have any printing, which I think I would have liked to maybe see some mid-legs here to get a bit of detailing on those legs. I think the hairpiece and face are decent. I believe this is the same face print that's used for young Hermione. And I think overall it's a pretty good figure. I think maybe mid-legs would have been better. But I still think it's a pretty good figure, and I think both these are pretty decent. Minifigures, I think the Icarus could have been changed to maybe represent the film a bit better. But I do think these are some good minifigures in this set. Especially because you see Sprite and Icarus working together at the end of the film. So yeah, that was my review of this Eternals Arial Assault set. But now I just want to go into my thoughts on the film. So I think the Eternals was good. I would say from the MCU movies this year, I would probably rank it Shang-Chi first, then Eternals, then probably Black Widow. I know for me, I have a Google document that every time I watch an MCU film, I add it to it and add its ranking. And I believe I had 30 films and Disney Plus shows on that list, and Eternals was 22nd, and I think I put it out of 3 out of 5. And for me, what I put on my scale was a good film, and I think that's what Eternals is. I think there's some characters who I really liked. For me, Makari was my favorite character. I really liked her speed. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked her fight with Icarus near the end of the film. I should for sure clarify, of course, I would hope you would have clicked off by now, but of course this is going to have spoilers in the film, from the film. And I also quite like Truig. I thought he was very interesting and wanting to intervene in the humans' earlier affairs. I liked Phastos. Kingo is pretty cool. I really liked Gilgamesh. I did find it kind of sad when he died, even though I wasn't attached to these characters. So, when a character like Ajax got killed or Gilgamesh, I really didn't feel much because I'd only just been introduced to these characters an hour and a half ago. But yeah, I think maybe for some the complaint is how many characters you're introducing in this film. Of course, you're introducing 10 Eternals, and then you have the Deviants, and then even though we've seen Celestials throughout the MCU, also quite a few Celestials in Chemaya, Tiamat, Arishem, of course. And talking about the Celestials, I thought they looked so cool in the film. I really liked how Arishem was shown at the start of the film, and how each time either Ajax or Cersei was talking to him, it just, this shot went back and showed his size, and I thought it was just really cool. And I'm excited to see more Celestials in the MCU. But yeah, I thought the characters were cool. Some of them I wasn't a big fan of. Sprite, Icarus, Cersei. They were, ones I wasn't that big a fan. Even Ajax, yeah, she would probably also be there. The Deviants were interesting. I thought they looked pretty cool. I liked Crow. I thought when Thena just cut him into a bunch of pieces, it was killed him pretty quick. But yeah, I think Eternals is a good MCU movie. It's not at the top of my MCU movie lists, but I do still think it's a good MCU movie. The post-credit scenes, Dane Whitman, of course, getting the ebony blade, setting up his future, of course. And then you can hear the voice of Blade in the background, which is pretty cool. And then the other one, which, of course, the first one, introducing Eros. And, yeah, I think that was also a pretty cool post-credit scene. I will say, for me, I thought mutants might be introduced in the Eternals. I just, like, to me, it kind of just made sense with how much time you're uh, going over in this film that mutants might get introduced. But I guess they have so much things in this 2 hour and 45-minute movie that it's hard to introduce mutants as well. And maybe there, if you go back through it, there are a few maybe tie-ins to mutants. But I'm kind of thinking now they might introduce mutants in a different way, and maybe it's sort of like the snap that um, made the mutant gene alive in certain people. I'm guessing kind of maybe like Monica Rambeau or Miss Marvel, and maybe they're mutants, and the cosmic energy kind of turns them into mutants. They already have something inside them, and that's what makes them mutants. I don't know. But for Lego sets, because of course this is a Lego channel, I think the Lego sets are really good. I will say for Eternals, 4 sets, I would have preferred more sets for Shang-Chi. Maybe 3 and 3 for Shang-Chi, or add 2 for Black Widow, and then we could get Red Guardian in a normal set there. Maybe some other characters there as well. But I'd love a Trevor minifigure, and some updated Shang-Chi Wenwu. I guess Morris was there too. But yeah, I think the sets are really good. Each one has a deviant, which the deviants are pretty prominent in the Eternals. Of course, you get all the Eternals in, it seems to me, pretty good outfits. I would say the Icarus is probably the weakest of the figures given the hair and face print, but the torso piece and legs are quite nice. The Celestial Airshim, Airshim the Judge set, I think is a really cool one. And then you also have the Big Domo, which, of course, the ship of the Eternals, the one they arrive on Earth in, and they use later in present day. And I think they did really good sets for what they had to go off for this film. And I guess for sure, given the year gap in the sets, maybe, no, we did see them, and doesn't look like there was anything changed, at least to me, between the Eternal sets that we've gotten at this point and the Eternal sets we saw in the LEGO catalog. I believe about a year ago. I remember those showing up in the LEGO catalog. It was interesting. But yeah, that was my review of the Eternals Arial Assault, and also my thoughts on the Eternals film. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the Eternals film. Please comment your thoughts on the film, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.